in order to get lower in our car, I have got a Pci Seat Mount. Now, Pro Car Innovations. I had one of these in my MX-5. Great stuff because they don't use a slider. I'll open up and you can see they actually bolt and then they slide and then tighten. So you don't have instant adjustment like a lever. It's similar to being bolted just to the floor, but you do have some adjustability. So this is their brand new stuff. We just ordered it. I'll put the link in the description for the PCI guys, and then where I got it from, the shop I got it from. Now, new version. So you'll see here, it actually has a bar installed on it, welded in for the 6-point harness, which is pretty cool. So you don't need to run a separate plate to do that. So there's the fittings. So you got all your, they're kind of crazy like T-nuts that lock in underneath to allow it to slide. And then a few spacers for the seat. And then some, a bit more hardware. So we'll just rest it in the car in a second and see how it looks, just to make sure everything lines up correctly. But this is going to get us a lot lower in the car with those seats that we've got. I'm probably going to give this a vacuum before I put the seat in, because it's a bit dirty under here. Okay, so just in general, when we put this in, okay, so there we go, lines up in the front there, and lines up there in the back. Now it does have seatbelt brackets, which is a nice touch, because it lets us run the stock seatbelt, and then we'll also be able to use that for the actually no, we don't have to. I was gonna say we use it for the harness mount, but no, it's the lap belt. Yeah, the lap belt goes on there, and then on this side here. So it is tight. The other seat was really tight too. You almost had to like push it over in order to bolt it in, but it's mostly the carpet. You can see there, and when you push it over, you do have lots of room. So that looks pretty good. And yeah, nice having that. So that is going to be, that's super, super low. That's about as low as you're going to get unless you straight bolted it to the floor. But I think even then, just to have a bracket of some kind, you're going to be off the floor a bit. So cool. Let's get that mounted up to the seat. So you got some options here. So you can make it this way. You can have it the other way around if you got a wide seat. And then you've got room in here. And you see how these work. So they've got it's like a tab that locks into the track here. I'll show you. Take this one off and I'll show you. So you've got, the bolt comes up, and then you've got that bit that locks in. So as long as you got some tension on it, that's locked in there, and you can tighten it up and yeah, adjust it on the fly. Well, not really on the fly. So the bolt comes up, slides around, and you can adjust it to you know, to suit your seat, of course, but more importantly, just to slide it to get more comfortable. I just wanted to be close to the ground, but occasionally someone else might drive just with. So I got that one side in set narrow, of course, to the back because I'm tall. I'm just gonna see how we'd be looking there if we bolted in there. No, we have to set it wide. Okay, easy enough. See what I might do? I'm gonna put the side mounts on the seat. Put the side mounts on the seat, and then we'll be able to line it up even better. My mistake, we can actually just make it a lot wider just by flipping where that tab is on the retaining bolt. So if I get it and I turn that 180, then we can move it, look at that, way over. So that's what we want. Because if it's the other way, the adjustments are going to be under the seat, which can make a bit of a pain in the butt. But I mean, if it needs to be that, it needs to be. But for us, I think we can do it this way. Now I'm just having that just almost tight, but I still want to be able to move this. And that's too tight. There we go. I can move that all around. Okay, do the other side and put the seat in. Okay, that is in. So the mount does come with some nice nylon spacers there, so we might have to be using these just to space out, but we'll see. It is a pretty wide seat. Yeah, it's gonna have to be flipped around. Yeah, gotta make it wider. Okay. Alrighty. Easy enough. And just scratch the seat a bit, no big deal. Okay, these gotta be flipped, so the adjustments have to be, for this seat, will have to be underneath when we wanna make it tighter and adjust for other people. Easy enough though, we'll just flip it around. Now, I've just quickly bolted that together. Got the seat in place. Well, I think is an okay angle compared to our other one we were running, but I'm gonna lodge, just gently put it in the car and test fit it. All right, we're ready to test fit, but we'll bolt the seatbelt on. So it got supplied hardware, which is pretty cool. And then we have our Schroth little eye for the harness to clip into, which is cool. So we'll just bolt that up now. Let's think it's a 17 mil nut. So and bolt. So let's have a look. I think so. Is it a 17? No. Well, so if I have the 17 wrench, it's a 15. And yep, that's a 17. Cool. Easy. All right, we'll crank that down. Test fit was pretty good, but it needs more angle because it's a little bit far forward and I'm not getting any thigh support. And yes, of course, I don't have the thigh thing there. So we're just going to move it. I'm going to move it up a hole on the front because it's as low as it can go on the back to that next one down, and that should be just right, I think. So I've run into a little problem, but nothing major. Same thing I had with my Audi, and that's I can't get the socket in there to tighten the rear bolt because it's an E10 and it's just weird, but I could if I just use a bolt. So this is actually some of the high tensile stuff I had in my Audi for the race seat, and of course Volkswagen Group with the Porsche is a perfect fit. So the rear bolts, I'm using this, so it is just it's 17 mil, doesn't need to be this long, but that's what I got. So that's what I'm going to use, and that will go right into that hole down there. So with those in, then it's a matter of sliding it back and adjusting underneath. But I should mention, this is the same fitment for a, Boxster, Cayman, Porsche 996, 997. So pretty sweet mounts on these things. Now I did also, if you're looking at here, I got the crotch strap measured up in there too. So I did that sitting in there, kind of getting an idea of how long it's going to be, doing one side, tightening it up. And then the easiest way to do it was to undo the front two bolts that hold the seat in, flip it back, and then adjust it to get it all even and kind of measured up. So just the standard motorsport ladder lock over on the buckle kind of thing over that nice bar. So anyway, we'll bolt this in, and then we'll try to reach underneath and tighten it up. Now I did, of course, increase the angle of the seat too. So I moved it up a hole here, and that conveniently is going to give me more room to get inside. Now you can see just there, that's the one of the bolts nuts I got to tighten, and the other one is right there. But when I slide them back, that one becomes more in view there, and that one is almost completely exposed here. So easy to get to with the just get a wrench in underneath. So just tightening this one up. Now get them all in before you tighten any of them, okay? And that way, they're gonna be able to get in there. This ratcheting wrench really makes it a lot easier. But if you don't have to, you could maybe get a socket with an angle in there. But you should have a set of these. They're cheap, and man, you use them all the time. So, okay, there we go. That is in. Now we can tighten the others up. All right, so you can see I've got it slid all the way back, and with the angled ratcheting wrench, I can get in there and tighten up that back one, and to finish it off. If you don't have a ratcheting one, you could still get in there with a straight one, which is good. Well, at least on this side. The side of the center console a bit trickier, but you can kind of reach in from behind the other seat if you sit in the passenger seat and go in and do it that way. Okay, so I just can't really do this with one hand. There we go. Okay, now we'll just get on the other side, and then you can put your arm down the back of the seat and kind of get in there. All right, while sitting in the passenger seat, you can kind of reach down, and you can just kind of see it there. It's not going to focus on it, is it? Is it? That's it there. See, I'm getting the wrench on it. Yeah, so you got to reach in around the back and tighten that one up, and then it's locked in. It's not going anywhere. And it's taken a couple hours, but most of it's just fitting, refitting, and making sure that it all goes in well, because yeah, you just gotta wiggle it in to get it secure. But anyway, looks awesome. They feel great, and I got that driver's side a little bit lower than the passengers with that Pci mount. So there you go. That's how to put a Pci mount in a Boxster or 996 or whatever 911 and Cayman.